got started into aesthetics about 4 years ago. And I didn't know where my career was kind of going. Started working at Neowell and thought it was just going to be a part-time IV gig to get me out of bedside. And it ended up being my home for the next year and a half. Started seeing all my clients here, and then we created the Neowell Aesthetics program. I am working now at Bespoke Health and Beauty. It's a med spa in Rockwall.
I'm Sammy. I'm originally an ER nurse, started out in the ER. I've been a nurse I'm still a baby, so about 4.5 years now. Yeah, going on 5. I moved back to Dallas, so I was like, hey, I want to get into aesthetics. How do I do this? Took some trainings, didn't feel comfortable, and then I actually reached out to Sarah and she on Instagram, and she was like, oh, well, there's this program called Neowell, which is great. Signed up for Neowell and met Nicole and attended multiple trainings and was able to get more hands-on experience versus other places where that you don't get much of that. So it helped me become comfortable as an injector and even more as a nurse. I've been blessed. Nicole here, actually, when she left to go to Bespoke, her position became available at Baylor, working with their plastics team. So she was able to kind of recruit me for that position and landed the gig, so it worked out great.
So I was working before this current job. I was working for Baylor Scott & White Plastic and Reconstructive Surgery. Amazing injecting job. Then I got the opportunity to go off with my injector bestie. She opened her own place. So when that happened, I really wanted my patients in Dallas to still be left in great hands, and it made me kind of nervous because I do, as you guys know, I'm very territorial over my people. I'm loyal. I want to protect them at all costs, and I was kind of nervous at who was going to be touching their faces. So I said, I know someone who I think would fit right in, although she doesn't have a lot of injecting experience. She has tons of hands-on, and she just stood out to me in the trainings. She was a go-getter. Her personality was great. You probably don't even remember this, Sammy, but I remember at one point in a training, I had gone to the bathroom, and I came back, and everyone was kind of on their phones, sitting in the chairs, waiting for me. Sammy was sitting on a stool in front of the patient, talking and engaging with the patient. And at that moment, I knew this one has a lot of awesome potential. So she was the first one I thought of when I needed a replacement, and now she is how long have you been injecting?
Total going on about 1.5 years now.
So 1.5 years, and she's working under 2 very amazing plastic surgeons. So it's been amazing. I know that when I got started, I knew someone, and that helped a lot. And I always wanted to be that for someone else. That was super important to me, especially. And I think that's when we started talking about the Neowell program, we started talking and thinking about the lack of education that injectors are getting. I mean, a 2-day course is not ideal. It's not enough. It's we're talking about people's faces, and it's fun, but it's serious. And we just saw such a huge gap, and by we I mean Deanna. I just went along with the ride, but she kind of saw me struggling with that, and we just were like, wait, there's no gap, there's no one to fill this gap. It's either you know someone or you take a 2-day course and then you go on your own. And I didn't feel comfortable doing that. Sammy didn't feel comfortable. There are people who do that though, and I get it. They want to be out of bedside. I get it, but you need more training. That's just point blank. We're still nurses. We still have morals and ethics that we need to abide by, and a 2-day course is not enough. So, Neowell training program, me meeting someone like Sammy, getting to mentor her, and she just told me today that she calls me her mentor. That was brand new today, and that I was calling someone my mentor. Now for someone to call me their mentor is it's so, I know, it's just, it's beautiful. And I always tell, I've told people in the training today, I don't gatekeep. I share my knowledge, and I want to share my knowledge, because all that's doing is creating better injectors in a better industry. And it can be really catty in this industry. People don't like to share their stuff. I'm just not that way, and NeoWell's not that way. So it means everything that I have a student that's now into my position at Baylor, and that just shows what can happen if you come to your classes, you really invest your time, your energy, and you have a passion for it.
Not spending the time, even the money. I know these trainings can be expensive, but if you're just attending a 2-day class that costs $4,000, I'm just going to say a number. It's not exactly, please don't quote me on that, but that's not enough. It takes a lot of money, a lot of effort, a lot of time to start this journey and attend all these trainings, and actually you have to put in the money, the time, the effort to get somewhere.
Because you were still also going to your ER job until she got the job full-time at Baylor. So when you're doing, sorry, I'm just cutting, because I just want to add, when you are, and I get it, I mean, I was doing the same thing. A lot of us have children. We're breadwinners for our family. We have to work and bring in money, and that's hard to do when you're brand new in this business. So you have to keep dabbling in your bedside. So just a month ago, she was trying to do part-time this and still doing full-time in the ER, and that's exhausting on your mind and your body. So how do you feel about that? Like, now you are full-time injecting, you can throw yourself in even more.
Work-life balance has definitely improved for not just myself, but for my children as well. I have a 7-year-old and a 9-year-old, and even for them to say, oh, Mom, you get more time with us after school, I'm just oh, it melts my mama heart. But as far as the injector side of things, a year and a half ago, I didn't have the confidence that I have now. Even coming at somebody's face with a needle, I was like, oh, uh-oh, here we go. And NeoWell has helped with the hands-on trainings. I can't express enough how beneficial hands-on trainings are to get you to where you need to be for that confidence. Of course, you're always going to be worried about something, and if you're not, then this isn't for you. But it has definitely helped build my confidence.
Just adding to that, I think that the more hands-on you can get, and the way NeoWell structures its program to building you, they have beginners classes, then you get, do that, get comfortable, then go to intermediate, then go to advanced. I know that there's no other training program, at least in the Metroplex, like that, because I researched and tried, and the most is a 5 to 7 day, really expensive, even laser training, where I don't even do lasers. I just wanted the injectable. So the fact that this program does build on your skills, and if you're a member, you can come to as many trainings as you want, that's priceless to me. Literally, I always told Deanna, I was like, why wasn't this around when I was getting in? Because I would have joined in a heartbeat.
It's worth every penny. I mean,
absolutely.
For 6 months, you can come to any training that's included, in your initial price. And if you want to continue trainings, you can do that as well. I mean, for myself, I took a break for a little bit and then came back. So, I mean, there's that opportunity also to come back and oh, they've added additional trainings. Let me go, grab up some of that knowledge as well. So.
And we've grown from starting 1 or 2 trainers to how many trainers now? I mean, it's wild. And members too. We started with 1 or 2, and now there's countless. So it's really cool. We have a la carte classes now, which I think is really cool, and I think that was just going to be the next step. I obviously am glad. I think that everything happens for a reason, and I feel like me even getting introduced to NeoWell and to Deanna, it was like a kismet, kind of it was divine intervention, and it happened so organically, and the program was created so organically. It wasn't us even thinking about money. Money never even came up at first. Deanna was watching me, someone she cared about, struggling and at knowing what to do with her career and her life. And like, what can we do to help other people like you? We didn't even talk about money till the program was already like almost about to be launched. And they were like, oh, how much are we charging for this? But it really is how this program started, which was super organic, super wanting to help, not just make money. And I like it that no one's a number here. I talked to one person from my training, my Botox training back in the day. I don't even know who anybody else is, right? I give them my cell phone numbers. They call me. I know other trainers do that too. We're very invested in furthering your career and making you whatever you want to be. So I love that. And it's an overwhelming feeling, but amazing.
Don't give up. I mean, that's the biggest thing. Just know what your goals are, stick to those goals, and create a plan, and just do whatever you have to do to get there. Just like in an uplifting, just don't give up on yourself. Believe in yourself. Know that you have the confidence to do whatever you put your mind to. And I know it's easier said than done sometimes, but if you stick to it and you manifest it, it will happen.
I also want to say one thing. The hustle is real. So like you're going to have to hustle in this. If hustling isn't something that you want to do, if you're comfortable in your bedside job, you're like, oh, I don't really love it, but I'm comfortable, this isn't for you. You're going to have to push yourself. You're going to have to hustle. But if it's something you're passionate about, and again, I'm very into, I'm not into the vanity of it. I am into, you should never let anyone make you feel bad for wanting your outside to reflect your inside. And that is what it's all about. So if you're passionate about helping men and women step into who they really think they are, but they can't get there because of anything going on here, whether it's aging, acne, I mean, there's tons of things. And again, it sounds like vain, but as being someone who struggled for 10 to 12 years with really bad skin concerns and now have fixed it, it gives you a confidence that you didn't know was inside of you. And that's what it's about. So if you don't have that passion and you just want money and to make money, this isn't for you. You got to have a passion for it. You got to have a passion for people and for helping someone look and feel their best. My whole thing about the natural of it all is I don't want anyone to come in or want to look a certain way and think that that's bad. There are different aesthetic eyes. What everyone finds beautiful is different, and that's fine. Now, my philosophy is I want to enhance your natural beauty. If you are wanting, like a really square jaw, the cheeks, the lips, that's totally fine. That's not my aesthetic. I prefer the more natural. So what I'm going to do is try to enhance and do a facial balancing to make all of your features look your best. I also love regenerative medicine. So if I'm, exosomes, PRP, Sculptra, things like that are at microneedling that are going to tell your body what to do instead of putting something artificial in it, I'm going that route as well. But again, whatever your look is, there has been times where clients come in and they have a certain look that they want, and I let them know very kindly that I'm not the injector for them and that I will find them the one that is for them. So it's also a thing in this business to learn how to say no when you feel like you and your client's visions aren't aligning, and that's totally fine. And again, I am not one to say who or what you think is beautiful is wrong. Whatever you think is beautiful is what it is. It just might not go along with my aesthetic. When people do come in and say, I love how natural you look, and I tell them actually how much I've gotten done, they're like, huh? It's because it's done in a way from an injector who understands how to harmonize those things and not overdone.
I also think honesty, being honest and 100% transparent with your patients, as well as very important in, a facial balancing consultation, and just letting them know, like, this is something that we can do and this is something that I cannot do. So like she said, just, letting them know that you can help them find that aesthetic, but it's not necessarily where where you align. So I think honesty is just the most important. And then your clients will also learn to trust you more because they're like, oh, well, she didn't beat around the bush and just give me everything that I wanted.
I think I've kept more clients by saying no than anything, which is what you wouldn't think, or just being honest and saying, I understand this person did this on you. This is not what I would do. This is what I would do. I know it might cost more. It might be different than what you wanted or expected coming in here. Or I want to dissolve your lips first. I know that's never what anybody wants to hear, but I feel like those patients are the ones that are like my diehards and stick around because I was honest with them up front, and they know that they aren't just a number. I'm not trying to just take their money. I really want what's best for them. If anyone has any questions about how to bust into this industry, to reach out. Again, I wish this industry would move toward a more inclusive place, and we can be that inclusive place for y'all. If you have questions, concerns, we're available. Reach out to us on Instagram and we can give you our cells and chat. I mean, we are open to, helping you get where you want to be.
It's just that a conversation doesn't cost anything.
It doesn't cost anything.
And not following your dreams could cost everything.
1,000%.
Yeah.